Okay, so Terry, a lot of people are really, even artists, don't know a whole lot about what makes up a pastel, and people who collect pastels don't really understand what pastel is about. Can you explain that a little bit? How you make your pastels, or what goes into a pastel?
Okay, pastel pigment is the same pigment that is used for oil or acrylic. So it's a pigment that is opaque, unlike watercolor, where we're more transparent pigments.
Oh, okay.
So those are the pigments that we're using. I'm using some synthetic pigments because I don't want the cadmium toxicity
Right.
or the alizarin light fastness problems. So I've got some pigments that are man-made that are used to overcome some problems that I really don't want to mess with. So it's mostly pigment and a binder. The original binder was a gum tragacanth, which was kind of like a pine sap that grew on a bush in Iran. Not too much is coming from Iran right now.
Yeah.
So it's a synthetic gum tragacanth. And if you read food labels on cans, you'll see gum tragacanth show up quite often. It's just a sticky mixture. It's used in the manufacturing of hard candy also.
Oh.
So that holds it together with different strengths for different combinations of pigments. So that holds the stick together.
So how do you get all these? So the pigments are mostly powders, right?
Yes, we get them in a powdered form.
How do you turn it into a pastel?
Well, we got this little magic wand that we whop them with. You mix the dry powders in with the binder and also distilled water.
Mm-hmm.
Tap water has chlorine and other elements in it which can change color.
Mm-hmm.
And your tap water has many of the pigments in it itself. So I'm using the distilled water so I'm consistent, so be able to make the same color twice. Once we have the water, the binder, and the designated amount of pigments there, we make a paste with the water and the dry elements. Pastel is the French word for paste. So that's where that comes from.
Aha.
And then we form them the way we want. We put them in food dehydrators overnight and takes the moisture out. And then after we have them dried, they all get sanded, hand sanded, all 6 sides as an inspection and as a final cleaning up of the pastel so we have the sharp edges. So that's how we do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how the other brands do it.
And it's worth every second of it because they're absolutely wonderful to work with. We love them.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. That was really interesting. All right. I can't turn it off. It's still going. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to get that. It's still